Good morning and welcome to today's segment of Nadya's Identity Files. I missed you last week, but alas, I did have a guest cancellation coupled with extreme fatigue, so you were forced to watch me meditate on air all over again and bask in that on-air mindfulness, which was really awkward but also really interesting. In the past week or so, I've been really getting into my meditation and yoga thing. I even did 2 hours. I couldn't even believe it was 2 hours. I did 2 hours of Kundalini yoga on the beach on Sunday, and I was like, oh my god, 2 hours has passed, how has this happened? And I got a fabulous sunburn on one half of my face, which I expertly have covered up with foundation today. Go makeup. Anyway, happy mid-May to you. Here's another reminder to start getting your shit together if you haven't already, as we're almost halfway through the year. I can't believe that we're nearly in June. It's really crazy. And not sure if you can tell on camera. I guess you can, because I looked at the camera before coming on live and I could tell. I mean, my eyes aren't that great these days, but I could tell. But I decided to change my look last week because Groupon. Groupon is everything. It also makes you spend unnecessary amounts of money and go for looks that you normally wouldn't go for. But hey, I'm rocking this highlights thing. And I wanted to try on a new hairstyle. I've been doing the bangs and the dark hair for a really long time. From a very young age onward, though, I've really enjoyed playing with my look, going short with my hair, then going long again, dyeing it, experimenting with different styles, playing up my femininity and also playing it down to feel more androgynous. The whole 9 yards. I love playing with fashion and style and just, pushing boundaries. And when I was pixie short, though, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that look. Of course, it took 500 years for me to grow my hair back, but I was rocking it for quite some time. One thing that really drove me crazy when I was pixie short was I was often harassed by guys to go long again because, so obviously my look depends on these guys' approval, and possessing long hair is clearly what women do, right? To be a woman, that's what we have to do to hold on to our femininity, to have this long fucking hair. Wrong. No. That's just what Western society expects. And just as it's culturally rigid to expect women to maintain long hair, it's culturally rigid to expect men to maintain a short hairstyle as opposed to growing their hair out. So on that note, today we are going to turn gender norms on their head and explore gender fluidity in relationship to being a drag performer. I have two special guests today. DJ and drag queen Rubella Spreads, who is the host of Neon at Fault Line every first Saturday of the month, and Neon Long Beach debuting at Club Ripples tomorrow night, and Jean Decay, a local downtown LA queen who performs, writes, and focuses her work on current social issues, and her hobbies include political activism. She reminded me that I need to go vote today. Thank you, Jean. And she also noted that she enjoys sitting down, which I enjoy being sedentary sometimes too. Why the fuck not? We gotta rest sometimes, So I want to give you a little bit of a history because not everybody watching is necessarily a part of the LGBTQI community, as I and my guests are, and you might be getting all of your information about drag and drag performance strictly from RuPaul's Drag Race or what you've picked up in mainstream media. So I want to give you a little bit of a background. Though drag did not come to the forefront of contemporary culture until I think the late 19th century, so around 1870 or so, it's probably safe to say that it's a several hundred-year-old art. And of course, it was popularized today by RuPaul's Drag Race. A lot of people don't realize that drag is a lot more than just exaggerating femininity and exploring archetypal feminine gender roles. It really is an art. And many drag artists are of multiple sexualities and gender identities. Not every drag performer is gay, and the types of performances can vary widely by class and culture. Other drag performers include drag kings. So, in case you don't know, a drag king is typically a woman who is personifying an archetypal male. So that is for sure something I'm down to try one of these days. I don't think there's like a lot of drag king nights here in LA. I feel like I need to go up to like San Francisco to get in on that, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just like not in the know. No clue. So many people also, another thing that's really important to note about drag performance and gender identity is that a lot of people incorrectly associate transgendered people with drag performers, seeing them as one and the same, which is not so, at least not generally so. And I think in some cases, being a drag performer can serve as a gateway for a person to come into a preferred gender identity and then later identify as transgender. Usually these two things are completely separate. There have been a few known drag performers, however, especially on RuPaul's Drag Race, who have come out as transgender, including Gia Gunn, Miss Peppermint, and Kylie Sonique. I wish my name was that cool. Nadya Rousseau is only kind of cool. And yeah, I don't know. That was just a weird sidebar. So another thing I want to quote RuPaul about keeping with the identity theme and keeping with what I just noted about being a drag performer versus becoming or being a transgendered person. RuPaul said that drag is really making fun of identity. We are shapeshifters. We're like, okay, I'm this. Now I'm a cowboy. Now I'm this. Whereas transgender people take identity very seriously. Their identity is who they are. I come from the school of I will do whatever I want to do at any time and change whatever. And I think that that's really an interesting point to make. However, every person's experience is subjective and unique, so I think it's important to note that for some, maybe it is one in this. It's important not to kind of transpose our own experiences onto other people, because everyone's experience, especially when it comes to gender exploration and turning gender norms on their head, is unique to their own experience and their own life and all of the subcultures that we exist within. So today we're going to really get into a deeper dialogue about gender identity and drag performance. I'm super excited. I don't really have any hardcore identity news issues to go into today for the sake of time. I mean, there's all kinds of shit happening in our world right now. Like, I mean, I could really go into a super long tangent about our friend DT. I mean, that would just like it would just take too long and I would get pissed, and then like the sunburned side of my face would look really red, and that's not attractive. So I will be right back with my guest. Stay tuned.